Good evening, everyone. We in America have been in a panic, not knowing whether the Congress of the United States would pass a budget that would allow us not to go into deficit. Today, the President finally signed it. A depression is when you don't have a job. This passing bill is a joke. It's a joke because it's going to hurt every single one of us and accomplishes nothing. As a spiritual leader, why am I talking about this? Because I want every one of you that are listening to understand that we are in an era when we are all being sold down the drain. Take a look at the pictures of what's going on in Somalia. Do you understand that every single second, babies are dying of starvation? They are dying of starvation because we will not send in our troops to make certain that they get food. But we are in wars everywhere throughout the world when it comes to oil. This is what is going on in this world. There are people starving in our own country. They are starving in the streets and dying. They do not have medical attention. But this country has plenty of money to fight battles throughout the world and to give money to places throughout the world. $1 million, which was just lost because it was stolen by our enemies. I am a product of the Holocaust. My parents were in Auschwitz and Buchenwald. So this pains me greatly. And I have the guts and I have the ability to speak to you tonight, to ask that you wake up from your slumber. I am concerned for our children and our grandchildren. I am concerned that for the first time, our children and grandchildren will grow up in a world that is worse economically than it was for us. Let me turn now to the Holocaust. I was born in 1948, came to America as a refugee. Written on my ID card were the words DP, born in a displaced persons camp. My father had $13 to his name. My brother, my sister were murdered by the Nazis. My grandparents, cousins, aunts and uncles were murdered by the Nazis. So I speak to you as an only child who knows the meaning of death in a family. Today we talk about Holocaust and genocide. And there are many genocides throughout the world. And I beg you, do not be an innocent bystander. Do not stand by while children are dying and being murdered. We have seen this before. But as a rabbi and as a spiritual leader, I turn to those that are still living who are survivors of the Holocaust. And I say to you that soon it will not be Holocaust and genocide, only it will be genocide. And the Holocaust will be forgotten. When you are dead, there are only about 200,000 survivors left. The deniers will come out. And Holocaust will no longer be anything more than just a date in history. So I beg you, we need Holocaust studies, master's and doctoral programs in Jewish universities. I beg you, we need genocide studies. But don't confuse the two. We can learn lessons from the Holocaust to genocide, but let us not forget the Holocaust. I am making this YouTube as an appeal to all of you that are listening. Do not be innocent bystanders while children are dying. Do not be innocent bystanders while there are people in this country starving to death. And do not be innocent bystanders while the meaning of the Holocaust will be forgotten. I thank you. My name is Rabbi Dr. Bernard Rosenberg. I live in Edison, New Jersey. And I beg you, for the sake of 6 million murdered people, 1.5 million murdered children, never forget the Holocaust.